I go ahead and crack my eggs into this bowl. The egg yolk shattered.
Don't do it that way.
I was going to do it like that, and then I was going to pick the egg yolk out. Hey everyone, welcome back to Chef Tyler's Croatian Kitchen. Today we'll be making Biskvit s Jadoama.
Nope, you think that's too slow?
I don't think it's slow. I mean, I am slowing myself down, and when I hear it, it's not actually a biscuit. It's a cake, but the Croatian is biscuit. It's a sponge cake.
Fruit cake.
It is a fruit.
Like you.
When they say Biskvit, do they also call biscuits Biskvit or no?
Those are cakes.
Okay, so Biskvit is a sponge cake.
Yes. Because it's strawberry season, I thought it'd be fun to do something to showcase strawberries, and who doesn't like cake? We're just going to go ahead and get right on into this. We're going to start with whipping up our egg whites into stiff peaks. We need a bowl and everything out of the way. So I'm just going to go ahead and crack my eggs into the bowl. Be a little gentler this time. And the egg yolks I'll put into this other bowl. Let me fish this one out now while I'm thinking about it.
Did you wash your hands?
No, I did not. I thought it'd be add an extra little bit of flavor. I didn't wash my hands.
Protein.
Exactly, right? Wait, what do you think is on my hands?
Plead the fifth.
And now we'll go ahead and whip these into stiff peaks. And you know you're at stiff peaks when a peak forms and it stays upright. If it still curls down a little bit, you're not there, just go a little bit longer.
Extra pro tip, it should stay in the bowl if you tip it upside down.
Come on, put it over your head. Do it. Thumbnail.
Was nervous. I'm going to leave this off to the side now. We will use those in a little bit. In here I have my egg yolks, and we're going to need to add in 100 grams of sugar and 1 packet of vanilla sugar. First I'll need a scale so I know how much I'm putting in.
Why vanilla sugar as opposed to vanilla extract or something like that?
Cannot seem to find vanilla extract here, or at least my local consume doesn't have it, which is probably not true. I've seen vanilla flavoring, but it's not vanilla extract.
I've seen vanilla pods at Tom's and
Really?
Spa as
Yeah.
well, big ones.
Oh, I've seen them actually have them there on occasion.
It's usually in their bio section
Yeah.
rather than in their baking stuff.
But also the problem is it's a lot easier to find vanilla bourbon
Yeah,
than
they're
it is to find actual
than
vanilla.
actual vanilla.
And why wouldn't you use that here?
I don't want the
It's
bourbon
really
flavor.
strong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Next, I'm going to cream the egg yolks and the sugar together. I'm not cleaning this off because everything's going to get put in together. And it's actually good that we have some of the meringue on the mixers because that's going to help make the texture of this batter closer to that of the meringue. But I'll get into that a little bit more when it's time to put the meringue into the batter. And you'll know it's done once you can form a ribbon. That is when you pick up the beaters and some of the egg yolk comes down and it stays a little bit above before melting into the rest of the mixture. And next we'll add 150 milliliters of milk. And I've learned, so I'm putting this into this measuring cup instead of directly into there. And then 120 milliliters of oil. I'm using sunflower because it has no flavor, and I really just didn't feel like putting in olive oil. But normally I do like to bake with olive oil. Then we'll go and just mix this together. And we mix just until it is combined. Next we're going to add in 200 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm going to put it into a bowl first, and then we're going to sift it in batches into our batter. And after each time we add some flour, we'll mix until it is incorporated, then we'll add in some more. Best practice is to do this while you are to add the flour while you're mixing, but I have 2 hands, so I will not be doing that. So 200 grams of flour.
Why don't we just dump it all in?
If you dump it all in, you run risk of having little bubbles of flour in your cake, and you don't want that. You want the cake to be as homogeneous as possible. Now we have a sieve for sifting, and we'll just add a little bit in, like that much first, and sift this into I feel like we can actually get a little bit more. Now, a lot of times I don't actually sift my flour because it doesn't usually make that much of a difference, but in this case, it very much does. And now we will mix until combined. And lastly, we have 12 grams of baking powder. And mix again until combined. The zest of 1 lemon. And I'll just stir in the lemon zest. We don't need these anymore.
Would any part of the process change if you were using a stand mixer instead of a hand mixer?
No, you could just have an easier time of putting the flour in as you're mixing. And also you'd want to use the whisk attachment when you're making the meringue, then switch that out, probably for the paddle attachment, when you're making everything else. Now we're going to go ahead and fold in our meringue. But the first time we're going to do this, we're not going to fold, we're going to stir. So let me get all this batter off first. So earlier I kind of alluded to this when I said we didn't have to clean off the mixers because we want to get the texture of the batter closer to that of the meringue. And that's going to help us fold in the meringue, and then it can keep its nice and light texture easier. So the first third of this meringue, we're just going to plop right on in. Let's a little more like a third there. And we're just going to stir. Right? You're going to lose the fluffiness, but that's okay. As Sola says, you need to make a sacrifice to the bubble gods. And you can see this is already a little bit like lighter than it was, which is really cool to see. And now we're going to fold in the egg whites.
Fold in? What is fold in?
You just fold it in.
But how do you fold it in?
Here's what you do. You take the spatula and you just fold it in.
But I don't know how to fold it in.
Caitlin, I cannot show you everything.
Can you just show me this one thing?
Here's what you do, okay? You just fold it in.
It says fold it in!
Folding it in is really not that hard. What you're going to do is you're going to take your spatula, go underneath, and simply fold and turn, like so. What you're doing here is combining the meringue, the egg whites, without deflating. It's a gentler way of mixing. This way, we can keep all of the air bubbles from the meringue into our batter. And it's very important you don't overmix, because then you will deflate. And that's why we do this piece at a time, because if you put too much in, you're not going to get everything incorporated before you add in the next batch of egg whites. And that will prevent everything from coming together. And you are basically just lifting and folding. Hence the term. And once you can't see streaks of meringue, you fold everything in.
Your bowl was farting, and we were trying to be grown-ups about it.
Yeah. And now, I'm just cutting up our strawberries. I have about 200 grams. I'm just going to cut them into pieces like so, and add them into the batter. You could have them coated in flour, but I read a thing by Kenji that says it doesn't actually make a difference. So, and again, we just fold in the fruit. After that, I have my cake tin here. It is lined at the bottom with baking paper, and I have some oil around the sides to prevent sticking. And we're just going to pour our batter into the cake tin. And we'll just shake the cake a little bit to level the top. And probably get rid of some errant air bubbles. This is going to go into the oven now at 180 Celsius, or what is that, 375 Fahrenheit? I'll put it in the description, for 20 minutes. And once your cake has cooled, it's time to take it out of the springform pan, cut, and serve. Actually, we want to sugar it first, but then we'll cut and serve it. So just hit the plate as I take this off. It looks very nice. A lot of the fruit did come down to the bottom, but that does make sense. Kenji said I didn't have to. We'll take the paper right off. And I'm just gonna flip it right on over. And then lastly, I'm just gonna take powdered sugar and just dust the top with it.
Also dust your work surface, that's the most important thing.
Well, you gotta dust the work surface too, so you can get all the way to the edges, right? 1, And here we have Biskvit Jadoama. So now that we made it look all nice and pretty, let's go ahead and cut into it. I'm gonna take the strawberry off. I'm gonna cut closest to me because it's easiest. And here we have our sliced Biskvit Jadoama.
Ooh.
Well, there went the strawberry. I do see not many strawberries in here, but at least it looks nice. So I'm just gonna go and right on in. Here we go.
A dainty bite.
Mm-hmm. Delicious. I think you need a little more strawberry, or maybe the strawberry could be a little more mixed throughout. But like the lemon and then the lightness of the cake, it works so nice. This is so good. This one has some strawberry in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the pizza with the strawberry, very, very good. And it's so light. Like that's the best part. Right? And this isn't a heavy cake. You can just smash this, which is dangerous, right? I don't bake a lot. I don't want to like have so many cakes and sweets around. Like, I should make cakes more often, but my waistline would not be happy with me.
Can you replace the strawberries with other seasonal fruit?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, say like blueberries.
Blueberries?
Yeah, why not? And blueberries. We probably don't want something like super like watery. Maybe peaches would be too much, or maybe not. You can do peaches, plums, figs. Ooh, figs would be really good. We have a fig tree.
I'm scared to leave him alone with this cake when we're finished filming.
If there's any of this cake left tomorrow, then like I failed. This was Biskvit Jadoama. If you liked what you saw, please hit like and subscribe. And as always, go about the deck. This is so good.